How much was the governor and deputy governor, how much were they earning and how much do they earn now?
I must confess I don't know how much they were earning before now, but what I know is no matter how much the salary of the governor and the deputy governor is, it has been slashed by 50% for the governor and 35% for the deputy governor, and the same 35% across the board for all political office holders in the state.
Is this reflected in...
I also know,
just a minute,
fact,
let me add this.
Since he came into power, the governor has not taken full DTAs for all his...
Is this all reflected in the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission?
Yes, that shows the level of sacrifice, because the salary of the governor, deputy governor, and the political office holders are determined by the Salaries Wages Commission, and they are fixed. Yet they decided to forego what is legally due to them.
No, that's not my question.
Of their sacrifices.
The question is, sir,
to the state.
The question is,
it's not that the Salaries Wages Commission reduced, but it was a voluntary decision.
Yeah, but is it reflected in the Wages Commission?
I don't understand that question, sorry.
The slash of the salaries or reduction or review, whichever adjective you use for the salaries of the governor and the deputy, is it reflected in the Revenue and Wages Commission?
No, sir, it doesn't have to be reflected. The commission has already set out the salaries. So when the reduction is made voluntarily by the governor and the deputy governor and the rest of the political office holders, the funds that constitutes the reduction is now moved to the state funds as part of the sacrifices done by the political class.
So the governor and the governor reduced his salary and that of his deputy without notifying.
Because from some of the figures that my colleague has read out, it would seem that it was done arbitrarily. Was there a formula used?
No, it wasn't done arbitrarily. It was done through a table. The template is based on a table, and that table reviewed the history of salaries in Nasarawa State up to 2016.
Did Labour warn you, I mean, because you said Labour was a part of the committee,
yes.
Did Labour warn that some of these actions could have, very terrible consequences if the government went ahead with it?
No, they only said that they were not agreeable to any decision that will culminate into reducing a kobo out of their jumbo salary.
Okay, and
on that note, they worked out.
Right now, it would seem that Nasarawa State is at a crossroad because Labour has declared an indefinite strike action. Will the Nasarawa State government be willing to reconsider this review?
Yes. Labour is on strike, and the strike, they said, is indefinite. But the position of government has always been that it is open to dialogue. It is open to discuss this or any other issue with the Labour.
Is it reaching out to them?
Yes. When the president of NLC visited the Nasarawa State governor, he requested that the governor should reach out to the Labour with a view to finding an amicable solution to that problem. About 24 hours after the visit, the governor invited the state chapter of the Labour and held the first meeting with them. And they parted on the note that they were going to meet with their congresses and convey to them the issues that were raised in their meeting with the governor and get back to the government. Up till now, they never came back.
Well, the thing is...
So government is doing everything possible to get this problem.
Yeah, Mr. Usman, I mean, there are those who don't think that the governor is extending that olive branch because they say that the government of the day has in fact warned those protesting that, look, if you don't resume, we will sack you and bring in fresh graduates to take up your job. And then secondly, if the state is struggling to pay salaries, as you have just explained, why didn't they see this coming when they embarked on this 20 billion naira cargo airport?
Okay, let me start with the airport issue. The government is a listening government. The airport project was conceived with the best of intention to leave it as a legacy to the people of Nasarawa State. But when the government took into account so many things that people are saying is nobody has ever criticized the project on the ground that it is not a necessary project. But all criticisms have been on the ground that it's ill-timed. And given the present economic situation, the government should think of something else and not the airport. As a listening governor, Al-Makura took into account all these criticisms, and I can now tell you that the airport project is not going to, the project has been terminated.
But there was a threat. The threat that, you know, you bring in young people to come and take over their jobs. Does that show that you're actually, you know, you're extending an olive branch?
You see, government service is continuous. If there is need to fill other vacancies, the government will not fold its arms just because these ones are on strike.
Well, Mr. Yusuf Usman,
Yes.
we have to thank you for coming on the program. We've been speaking to the Attorney General and the Commissioner for Justice in Nasarawa State. Chamberlain, it's back to you.
Well, yes, indeed. We appreciate everyone who sent us a comment or two. That's where we'll draw the curtains as well today on the program. Well, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. I'm Chamberlain Uso.
I'm Nel Taigwe. Thank you for watching.